Welcome back, Dunderheads, to Dunder and Lightning. Today we're doing Melon Liqueur. Oh yeah. One of the things you should have in your bar is Melon Liqueur, so that's what we're going to do today. You should have it in your arsenal of liqueurs to do some nice cocktails and to have it on hand. Some of the ladies like it, so that's what we're going to do today. We're also going to do 3 reviews of the finest melon essence I could find at my local brew shop. We're going to let them fight and see who wins. So we'll see who comes out on top on the melon liqueur review. And we're also, as a result of making a liqueur, we need some fine neutral spirit. So we're going to do a TPW, a tomato paste wash. It's my go-to. I've always got the ingredients for it laying around the house most of the time, except for the large amount of sugar that you need. You can do other neutrals. You can do a wheat bix wash, TFFV, kale washes. There's a bunch of different other neutral recipes online that you're welcome to use instead of the tomato paste wash. But today we're going to do tomato paste wash because it's nice and easy. So let's get cracking there. This is a pretty simple list of the stuff that you need. There are other options on this website down below, birdwatchers.info/calculator. It's an easy calculator to get you the mash size that you want without having to do the maths yourself. You can substitute the lemons here for citric acid. I sometimes do that if I do have some spare citric acid laying around, but I do have a lemon tree, so it makes it easy. Any baker's yeast will do. I go with Lowen's because it just worked every time. No issues there. And a multivitamin can be anyone. Just pick up one from your local store. Pretty bloody simple. Get these ingredients, put them in your fermenting vessel, and that's about as simple as it gets. I do like to crush up the multivitamin. Seems to help the yeast take hold quicker. And then pour in your yeast, and you all know the rest. You just let it sit and ferment out until the final gravity is under 1.0, and it's ready to run straight after that. So we'll let this sit for a couple of weeks until it's done, and I'll see you back at distilling day.
6.5 hours later.
First contender in today's review is the Melon Liqueur Essence from ESB, my local brew shop. As you can see here, it's $8.95 Australian dollars or $6.75 USD, and it makes 1.125 litres of liqueur. Not bad for a local brew shop. The instructions for this one are pretty simple. You just add this essence to a good neutral and add some sugar. That's it. The next one up for review is the Still Spirits Top Shelf Spirit Flavouring Melon Liqueur. Comes in at about $9 Australian or just under $7 US dollars. Makes 1.125 litres of liqueur. However, you do need to buy the Still Spirits Schnapps base, which is another $5 AUD. The last one on the list of the review for today is the Samuel Willard's Melon Liqueur Express Premix, coming in at under $13 Australian or just under $10 US. Makes 1.125 litres of liqueur. This, however, you don't have to add sugar. It's already in this premix. You add it straight to your neutral and you're good to go. So pretty easy. In relation to mixing all these together, guys, we're all adults here, and basically we can follow some simple instructions on the back of the pack. I'm not going to go through them because they're pretty simple. It's not rocket science. So I'll see you after we've mixed all this together. Once your TPW has fermented down, you're going to want to do a couple of stripping runs to get that alcohol down to a manageable amount, so that when you do your spirit run, you can do the spirit run all in one go. Once your stripping run's done, Fill your boiler up and get ready for that sweet, sweet spirit run. There's a couple of articles online in relation to sodium carbonate, but the kind of summarized version is it helps clean up the final product, helps make you make cuts a little bit easier, etc. So if you want more information, I'll post a couple of links in the comment section below, and you can have a look at it. Once you've made some healthy cuts on that TPW and make sure you've got the best neutral you can get cracking on some melon liqueur. The recipe today comes from Eurostiller from the homedistiller.org page. Guys, if you haven't checked out the homedistiller.org page yet and you're getting into distilling, I highly recommend it. It's where I got most of my information early on, and it's got some cracking recipes in there as well. Eurostiller has said that him and his family have been making liqueurs for a long time, and this one seems like a pretty damn good recipe, so that's what we're going with today. What you're going to first need to do is find yourself a honeydew melon and wash it thoroughly. You're going to cut the whole thing up and put it in a very large container. I'm not going to bother you with me cutting shit up, so magic. Boom! That's my first corny YouTube thing I've done. The next part is easy. You just need to get all your melon, put it in your container, and add 500 ml of your highest proof alcohol, preferably 94%, and let it sit for 40 days. 40 days, ladies and gents. 40 days. After 40 odd days in the melon mash, should look something like this. What we're going to do now is we're going to strain that out, and then we're going to add some sugar and some water and see how it tastes. Good. This is what we're left with. It looks not too bad. It smells a bit like overripe banana, which is a bit strange, but it doesn't smell bad. So that is the spirit that's been sitting in the melon. The melons have gotten a little bit chewy and very, very soft. Doesn't appear to be much flavour left in them, which is great. What we're going to do now is going to come over here and we're going to make a simple syrup. If you haven't done a simple syrup before, it's basically 50-50 sugar and water. This recipe, however, is 400 grams of sugar and 500 grams of water. So it's a little bit less than 50-50, but that's okay. That's what the recipe asked for, so I'm going to go with that for today. If you want to have less sweet liqueur, obviously you just go with less. So I'm going to put that in there. And we're going to get this little stirry. I'm going to stir this around. And once that's all come nicely together and all that sugar's dissolved, we're going to whack that over into the melon liqueur and see how that bad boy tastes. Yeah, alright. Well, the next time you see this, I'll give it a bit of a rest for about 24 hours. Let it all settle in and smoosh together. And then we'll give this a test run along with all the other melon liqueurs we've done and see how we go. Oh yeah! Alright, welcome to the tasting lounge. We're going to do the review now. What we have in front of us is the ESB branded melon liqueur, the Samuel Willard's branded liqueur, and the Still Spirits liqueur. And this one on the end here is the stuff that we made, the melon liqueur. It's been sitting for about 40 days or so. Didn't end up with too much color in there at all, but it smells pretty damn good. We've got some of this stuff, some of the commercial stuff, just to taste side by side. It's been a while since I've had Midori, I've got to say. Probably about 10 years. I was known to have the occasional Midori splice in my early 20s though, and had quite a big night on them. Anyway, it's been a while. So, I'm gonna taste the Midori. Yeah, exactly how I remember it. Very sugary, very melon lolly type flavour. Yeah, it's alright. Happy days. A couple of shots of that. Party. Happy days. What we'll do now is we'll have the ESB flavoured liqueur. It's melon. It's a really dark colour, as you can see. As far as it pairing up, it's quite a fair bit darker than the Midori. So if you're into your colours and you want it to look exactly like the real thing, this is probably not the way to go. But if colour's not a thing for you, then who cares? Let's give it a whirl. The smell to this is quite chemical. The taste isn't too bad. It's a little bit more harsher than the Midori. I made good cuts with the neutral, so it's definitely not the neutral that's giving that little chemical aftertaste. It's all right. It's probably not the best. Out of 10, let's say probably a 6 out of 10. It's a pass mark. If you gave that to someone that was just out on the piss, that'd be fine. But yeah, as I said, 6 out of 10. This is Sam Willard's Melon Liqueur. This one was pretty easy to make. You just dump this in with some neutral. No need to add sugar or anything. It's already got sugar in the bottle. And that's pretty much all we need to do. So that was pretty easy. This smells exactly like a melon lolly. Like exactly. Like if you just got a melon lolly and melted it down, this is exactly how it would smell. It smells pretty nice, very sweet. Yeah, that a lot smoother than the ESB. No bad chemical aftertaste. A lot of melon just lingers. That's pretty close. Out of 10, probably looking at an 8 or a 9, I think. That's really good. It lingers quite for a long time, but there's nothing bad about that. So far, we got a winner. Let's give it a whirl with distilled spirits. Now, I've had a lot of distilled spirit stuff over the years. Most of the time are pretty good, pretty well put together. This is really chemically fuming, if that makes any sense to you. A lot more than this one. I used all the same neutral for all of these, so there's no difference in alcohol. I can't smell any melon in this at all. And it's a little bit disappointing because I used the liqueur, I used the top shelf still spirits mix with the liqueur sugar bag. You paid extra for that. So that's a little bit disappointing. And yeah. Sorry, still spirits, but that's about a 3. That's not a pass mark at all. I'm not a fan of that at all. I can barely taste melon. Compared to the other two, yeah, that's, no. Yeah, oof. I'm gonna have some Midori to wash that down with. Yeah. Night and day. Unfortunately, that's, I don't know what went wrong with that. I don't know if that's a bad batch or not, but I would not touch that again. I won't be drinking any of that. What we're gonna do now is we're gonna move on to the homemade stuff. The stuff that we used the recipe for. It's funny. This smells like ripe banana. If you gave this to someone and got them to smell it, they wouldn't know what this is, because it doesn't smell anything like melon, or anything like the candy melon that we're seeing here anyway. The color is almost non-existent. In the recipe you can add some green dye to vibrant it up a bit, but I don't think I'm going to do that. Let's give it a taste. That's really good, I gotta say. Not candy melon, obviously, we didn't use fake melon taste in there, but that's excellent. And I've got to say, that's pretty goddamn good. I would put that on par with like a limoncello, obviously made the same way. But that nice and freezing cold after a big meal would go down a treat. I think it's also passable as a Midori. I would only put it in front of the Sam Willards by about half a point, purely on the basis that it's made with real fruit, and that's it. Real fruit, real sugar, some water and alcohol, that's it. No additives, no preservatives, no nothing. But yeah, I think that's a real winner. So if you're happy with that, I'd chuck that one in your bar, because telling people you made that from scratch is pretty impressive. Thanks for sticking around today, guys. I am going to do a gin for my next video. It's going to be a bit out there, a bit of a strange one. It might make a fair bit of mess, and I'm really not sure what's going to happen with it. It was a request by an English friend of mine, so we'll see how we go. But don't forget to like and subscribe my video. Share it with all your mates and other dunderheads that you may know. And until next time, guys, you've been dunderstruck.